Hey everyone, I'm Ethan and I'm here with my fantastic co-host Amelia.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Easy Chat English Podcast, where we make learning English fun and easy.
That's right, and today we're going to talk about something that every one of us can relate to, families. Whether your family is small, large, or somewhere in between, we all have family stories to share.
Absolutely. We're going to dive into what family means to us, share some personal stories, and introduce lots of useful English phrases about family life that you can use to talk about your own family.
As we go through this episode, think about your own family and how you would describe them in English. You'll be learning vocabulary and phrases that can help you do that.
So, what does family mean to you?
Well, for me, family is all about love, support, and let's be honest, a little bit of chaos sometimes. I have two brothers, and trust me, when we get together, it's always a bit wild.
I can imagine. I think family is also about traditions and spending time together, like celebrating holidays or sharing meals. I love our Sunday dinners. It's something I look forward to every week.
Yeah, that's a great point. Families create traditions that bring everyone together. Even though my family can be chaotic at times, we always come together for things like birthdays and holidays. It's a part of what makes our family bond so strong.
Exactly. In my family, we are very close-knit. Do you know what close-knit means?
Oh, that's a good one. Close-knit means that your family is really connected and you share strong relationships.
Right. For example, in my family, we all support each other. When someone has a problem, everyone helps out, and we talk all the time, even if we live far away. That's what it means to be close-knit.
Yeah, same here. My brothers and I might argue sometimes, but we're always there for each other, which makes us close-knit too.
So, listeners, think about your family. Is it a close-knit family? Do you all support each other like Ethan's family and mine?
Now let's talk about the people in our families. I have two brothers, and even though we grew up in the same house, we couldn't be more different. One of my brothers is really adventurous.
Oh, adventurous. That's a good word. It means someone who likes trying new things and taking risks, right?
Exactly. For example, my adventurous brother loves rock climbing, traveling to new places, and doing things that are a bit, well, dangerous.
Wow, that sounds exciting. What about your other brother?
He's the opposite. He's more of a homebody.
A homebody. That's someone who prefers staying at home rather than going out.
Yes, he loves staying home, watching movies, reading, and relaxing. He's happiest when he's in his own space.
I have a brother like that too. And my other brother, he's super reliable.
Reliable? That's a great word to describe someone. It means you can trust them to do what they say they will do.
Exactly. If I need help with something or if I have a problem, I know I can always count on my brother to be there.
So listeners, you can describe your family members using words like adventurous if they love trying new things, homebody if they love staying at home, and reliable if you can always trust them. Okay, let's move on to something fun, family traditions. Every year my family has a huge reunion during the holidays. It's always loud and there's way too much food, but it's so much fun. It's a great way to catch up with relatives I don't see often.
Catch up is a really useful phrase. It means to talk to someone and find out what's been happening in their life since you last saw them.
Right. For example, when I see my cousins at the family reunion, we sit down and catch up. We talk about what's been going on with work, family, and everything else.
Exactly. I do the same with my cousins when we have family gatherings. We love catching up on each other's lives, sharing news, funny stories, and what's been happening since we last saw each other.
So listeners, if you haven't seen someone for a while, you can say, let's catch up. It's a great way to reconnect with people. Now, as much as we love our families, it's not always easy, right? Sometimes family life can be challenging. I mean, I argue with my brothers all the time. But no matter how much we disagree, we always work things out in the end.
That's a great phrase, work things out. It means to resolve a problem or disagreement.
Exactly. Even when we don't agree on something, we always find a way to fix the problem and work things out.
Yes, and sometimes family members don't always see eye to eye.
Right. See eye to eye means to agree on something, so if you don't see eye to eye with someone, it means you have different opinions.
But the good news is, even if you don't see eye to eye, you can still find common ground. That means finding something that both of you agree on, even if you don't agree on everything.
Exactly. So let's break it down for our listeners. If you argue with a family member, you can work things out by talking and resolving the problem. You might not always see eye to eye, but you can find common ground and reach a compromise.
Perfect. These are great phrases to use when talking about family disagreements and how to solve them.
Now let's talk about something that's a challenge for many of us: balancing family and personal life. As a parent, I have to juggle work and family, and sometimes it feels like there aren't enough hours in the day.
Juggle is a great word here. It means to manage several responsibilities at the same time, like work, family, and personal life.
Exactly. For example, I have to juggle my job, spending time with my kids, and doing things around the house. It's like trying to keep multiple balls in the air.
Yes, and when you have a lot going on, it's important to prioritize. That means deciding what's most important and focusing on that.
Exactly. For me, I try to prioritize family time, which means I make sure I spend time with my family even when I'm busy.
And when you do spend time with family, it's important to make it quality time.
Yes, quality time means time where you're really present and engaged with your family. Not just in the same room, but actually enjoying each other's company.
So, listeners, if you're juggling a lot of responsibilities, make sure to prioritize what's most important, and when you spend time with family, make it quality time.
Okay, so we've just talked about balancing family and personal life, which can be tough sometimes, right? But it's not just about balancing time, it's also about balancing roles in the family. Let's dive into some of the traditional roles that exist in many families. One of the most common roles we hear about is the breadwinner. That's the person who earns the most money and supports the family financially. For my family, that's my dad. He's been the breadwinner for as long as I can remember.
That's interesting. In my family, it was actually my mom who was the breadwinner. She worked full-time and brought in the money while my dad took care of us at home. He was what we call a stay-at-home dad.
A stay-at-home dad. I love that. It shows how roles are changing in modern families. Years ago, you didn't hear about dads staying home as much, but now, more and more fathers are taking on that role. It's the same with stay-at-home moms. These are parents who stay home to take care of the children and manage the household instead of going out to work.
Exactly. My dad was great at it too. He cooked, cleaned, helped us with our homework, and took care of everything while my mom focused on her career. It was a great balance.
And in my family, my mom was more of the caretaker. She always made sure we were looked after, taking us to school, helping with homework, and making sure dinner was on the table.
That's such an important role. A caretaker does more than just look after the physical needs of the family. They also take care of the emotional needs. My dad did that for us, and I know my mom appreciated it a lot.
That's awesome. It's amazing how in some families these roles are shared or reversed. In my cousin's family, for example, both parents work, but they split the caretaker role equally. They take turns cooking, doing school runs, and helping with homework. They've got it all worked out.
That's a good point. It's important to remember that family roles aren't fixed. They can change over time. Maybe the breadwinner becomes the caretaker or vice versa. What matters is that the family finds a balance that works for them.
Totally. So listeners, think about your own family. Who is the breadwinner? Is there a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad in your family? Maybe you've seen roles like this shift over time. Share your stories with us. We'd love to hear them. Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode. We've talked about what family means to us, how to describe family members, shared some of our traditions, and even discussed the challenges we face as a family.
And now it's your turn. We want to hear from you. Think about your family and share something about them with us in the comments. Do you have any family traditions or funny stories? Maybe a family member you'd like to describe?
That's right. You can practice the phrases we talked about today. And remember, families are all different, but they're special in their own way.
Before we go, here's a sneak peek of our next episode. We'll be talking about hobbies and how to describe the things you love doing in English. So, be sure to tune in next time.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you in the next episode of the Easy Chat English podcast.
Bye for now.